Today, we'll walk through how to use the powerful configure options within the ChatGPT interface to create a custom GPT model tailored to your needs. Whether you're looking to build a creative assistant, a technical expert, or something entirely unique, this tutorial will show you how to bring your vision to life with just a few simple steps. Let's dive in and start building. Let's start by setting up your GPT model. But first, as you can see, this is the create mode. However, for this one, let's go over to the configure model right here. All right. So the first step in this process is giving your GPT model a name. Think of this name as a first impression. Your name should instantly communicate the primary function or focus of your model. Enter a clear and descriptive name such as, let's see, Movie Review GPT. See? For a model that analyzes and discusses films. As you enter the name, keep in mind that this is your model's brand. So here, it's the first thing users will notice. So it's worth taking a moment to choose something that reflects the model's capabilities and personalities. Next, let's move on to crafting a description for your GPT model. This might seem like a small detail, but it's actually quite important. When writing this description, think about what makes your GPT unique. A well-crafted description will not only help you stay focused on the purpose of your model, but will also give others, whether they're collaborators or end users, a clear understanding of its capabilities right from the start. So, for example, if your GPT is designed to provide detailed movie reviews, as we're doing it right now, you might write something like this one right here. As you can see, go to the right side. Here's what I come up with. This GPT model analyzes and reviews movies based on user input, offering ratings and critiques that help viewers decide what to watch next. So yeah, keep your description simple but specific. It should highlight the key functions of your model without overwhelming the reader with too much detail. A good rule of thumb is to focus on what your GPT does best and how it can add value to the user's experience. Now, let's move on to one of the most critical parts of setting up your GPT model, providing clear and precise instructions. Think of this section as the rulebook for your GPT model. Here you define how your GPT should behave, what actions it should prioritize, and equally important, what it should avoid. For example, if your GPT is designed to generate movie reviews, you might instruct it to. So here's what I come up with. So here it is. So let's say with these ones. So it's also helpful to anticipate potential pitfalls or areas where your GPT might need extra guidance. For instance, you could instruct it with, let's say, always confirm unclear user inputs before proceeding, like this one. So these additional details can help refine the performance of your model, ensuring it stays on track. So with your instructions in place, your GPT model is now equipped with the guidelines it needs to perform its tasks efficiently and effectively. If you find this video helpful so far, please subscribe to get notified whenever we post a new video. And if you could take just 2 seconds to smash that like button, it would help us get traction in the YouTube algorithm. Thanks, guys. Now that we've set the foundation for how your GPT model will operate, it's time to make it more engaging by customizing conversation starters. These are, let's say, the opening lines your GPT will use to initiate a conversation with users. So let's say your GPT model is designed to give movie reviews, just like as I stated from the start. A good conversation starter might be, so here's what I come up with. What movie would you like a review for today? So as you can see, once I added, this one popped up right there, right below the description. Here it is, the conversation starter, right here. So this immediately invites the user to engage with the model's core function, providing movie reviews. It's direct, relevant, and sets clear expectations. You can add multiple conversation starters right here to cover different aspects of your GPT model's capabilities. This way, no matter what the user is looking to do, there's a prompt that nudges them in the right direction. With your conversation starters in place, your GPT model is now ready to engage users right from the start. Now, let's talk about how you can take your GPT model to the next level by enhancing its abilities with additional knowledge and specialized capabilities. This is where you can truly customize your model to meet specific needs and make it even more powerful and versatile. First, let's look at the knowledge section right here. Here you have the option to upload files right here that your GPT model can reference during conversations. This feature is incredibly useful if you want your model to have access to specialized information that isn't part of its general training data. To upload a file, just simply click Upload Files right here. So your GPT model will use the contents of, let's say, this file that it will be attached to inform its responses, providing more tailored and accurate information to users. Next, let's explore the capabilities section. This is where you can enable or disable various features depending on what you want your GPT model to do. Each of these capabilities add a unique function to your model, allowing it to perform tasks beyond simple text generation. For example, if you want your GPT model to create images based on text prompts, you can enable right here the DAL-E image generation capability. So this feature allows your model to generate unique images that align with user requests. So this one I'm talking about, adding a visual element to your interaction. Another powerful option is web browsing that right over here. If your GPT model needs to provide up-to-date information from the internet, enabling web browsing allows it to search the web and retrieve the latest data. This is perfect for models designed to deliver news updates, research information, or answer questions that require current real world data. And then for those who need their GPT model to perform complex calculations, data analysis, or interpret codes, enabling the code interpreter and data analysis right here, the capability is essential. This feature empowers your GPT to handle tasks like running Python scripts, analyzing data sets, or solving math problems, all within the conversation. Now that you've equipped your GPT model with the necessary knowledge and capabilities, let's make it even more powerful by creating custom actions. Actions Allow your GPT model to retrieve information from external sources, perform specific tasks, or even execute complex workflows. To start creating an action, click on the Create New Action button. This brings up the Add Actions interface right here, where you'll define the details of the action you want your GPT to perform. Let's walk through the process together. So the first you'll see is the authentication section. This is where you specify any necessary credentials your GPT model needs to interact with external services. For instance, if your action requires access to an API, you may need to provide an API key or other authentication details here. If no authentication is required, you can leave this set to none right here and then save. So next we move on to the schema section right here. So here is where you'll enter the OpenAI schema, which defines the API endpoints your GPT model will interact with. The schema outlines the structure of the API calls, including the parameters, responses, and any data data formats required. If you're working with a specific AI, you can either enter the schema manually or import it directly from a URL. If you're not familiar with creating schemas, you can use the import from URL feature right here to automatically load the necessary details from a public available API. Let's say, for example, that is. This saves time and ensures accuracy, especially when dealing with complex APIs. And finally, if your action involves handling sensitive information or interacting with external services, it's important to include a privacy policy right down here. This is where you'll provide a link to your privacy policy, ensuring that users understand how their data will be used and protected. Enter a URL linking to your privacy policy, just like this, for instance. Let's say yourdomain.com/privacy. So with everything set up, go ahead and save your action right there. Let's just go back. Then here we go. So with everything set up and saved up, by creating these custom actions, you're empowering your GPT model to tackle specific complex tasks efficiently. And that's it. You've built your very first GPT using ChatGPT's interface with the configure options. Whether you're using it for personal projects or professional tasks, you now have a powerful tool at your fingertips. Leave a comment below with what you would like to see next. Also, check the pinned comment below to download a quick guide for this video. See you next time, everybody.